Hi, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your October 1st, 2020 full moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I use, they are all listed in the description box below. Now, before we dive into this reading, let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from your body like storm clouds. Feeling yourself become calm, steady, and at peace as you enter into this safe and loving space. All right. Let's just let the bowl sing as I move your Moonology and your Queen of the Moon cards over to the side. These will be layered on top of the tarot to really give Luna a voice of her own, to let the moon speak for herself and in junction with the tarot. So let's see here. How will Scorpio be affected by the October 1st, 2020 full moon? How will Scorpio be affected by the October 1st, 2020 full moon? How will Scorpio be affected by the October 1st, 2020 full moon? How will Scorpio be affected by the October 1st, 2020 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Okay, so before I put these down, well, before I turn these around is what I mean to say. I kept on getting this thing, and I don't know, it was something I was watching when I was little. And the lady looked at the other lady and said, if you have to ask the price, you obviously don't need to be here. And it was just like the rudest thing I had ever heard. And there's something like that energy around you right now. It's kind of like somebody is making you feel guilty about being practical or something like that, or you're feeling guilty about being practical. I don't know exactly where that's coming from, but Spirit just wanted me to address it. So yeah, it's kind of like let wisdom guide you forward, and don't let other people guilt you or, bully you from standing in your convictions and knowing what is important to you. It doesn't have to be money. It can be, it is something that is of great value to you, and it's somebody here who's trying to bully you around. So just letting you know, this is the warrior moon, so you are definitely going to be able to stand up for yourself, but I just had to address that energy before we even turned over the cards. So the left-hand side is your inner self. The middle is your heart, your emotional self. The right-hand side is the public arena and your public self. So let's see. Yeah, the Four of Pentacles, vampiric energy around money. That makes perfect sense. Okay. Different paths than you thought you were going to be taking. Then we have the Ace of Pentacles, God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing you a gift of prosperity because you are severing those vampiric ties around kind of like, kind of like if you can't afford it, don't ask type of thing, those snotty, snotty meanness. So you're really severing yourself from that, and you're seeing yourself take a path that you didn't even know was an option to you. And that really does lead to prosperity, and the world opens up. The world opens up for you in a way that is really quite enchanting, but also in a way where instead of seeing what you can't do, you start seeing what you can do. And it's like, oh, I can, can't I? I can move forward this way. I can have this power. I can walk in this truth. And then it moves you to the Nine of Swords. You're going to be battling nightmares. Now, it can be letting other people like get into your head, the worry, the doubt, the fear, sitting there over analyzing things when you should be falling asleep. So with the Nine of Swords, you're going to have that sense of needing to let go. And that, I just got chills, because that is going to be hard for you. It's going to be like, okay, I need to let go. I need to move forward. I need to be me, and I need to replenish and be kind to my body, to myself, to my cells, to my essence. And that is something that your heart is asking for, and spirit is saying begging for. So for some of you, yeah, it's definitely needed. And then you have the Nine of Wands, which is not listening to the outside world and walking in your power and your truth, and knowing that you've defeated the battles. You've won, but it doesn't always feel like winning, because winning is supposed to make us feel all powerful and super gunning for it kind of thing. And it's like, no, this is going to be a very gentle, very kind, it is going to be kind, because it's like this is a gentleness and a kindness that comes over you. And it's like, okay, I am tired. And for some of you Scorpios, you're bone tired, all right? And you're not able to sleep. So there's like a cycle here that needs to be addressed. And you need to talk to your heart. And I know that sounds funny, but to sit there and say to yourself, why? Why is this so much harder? Or why does it feel like it's so much harder for me than everybody else? And that's the thing that we do. It's like, it's so much harder for me than everybody else. But if we knew the muck and the mire that everybody else was going through, we would see that, oh, wow. We might even think, oh, wow, I have it really good. So here with the repeat of the number 9, you're very close to a completion of a cycle. And then you have the Queen of Cups. You have you coming through, and then you have the Five of Pentacles. Your heart has a bit of a battle during this time. It does. I mean, you have the Nine of Swords, the Nine of Wands. You have the battle here. You have the doubt. You have the fear, the nightmares that, are robbing you of your sleep. You have a pauper's feeling. It's kind of like on the outside of wealth. I get to be on the outside of wealth. I get to feel guilty about money. I get to be, diminished. It's like, no, I get to be empowered. I do, because there's a gift here that is coming, that is lighting your way and letting you see that you can walk through that door. And you don't have to worry about money. You might have been worrying about money forever. And this isn't saying, okay, go out and spend, like you have an endless purse. This is saying that the fears and the doubts and the negativity and the lack that has either been ingrained in you from childhood, or that has come to you along the line, or that you've inherited within your DNA, or you've inherited from a past life, enough is enough. It's enough. There's wealth around you. There's prosperity to you. There's enough. And this is knowing that I am enough, and I have enough. This might be working, you took us off to get there, most definitely, but it is an empowerment and emboldening a truth and an honor to yourself. It moves you to your inner self, to your public arena, and there's a walking forward in beauty and in celebration. And as you do so, you have Temperance coming forward. So those of you Scorpios who are born on the cusp with Sagittarius, this is going to be a very big pull, the balance coming in. And you're going to need this balance as you move forward. But even if you're not on the cusp with Sagittarius, there is a passion and a power of a harmony, of an insight, and of a turning to kind of deeper understanding that comes forward. Yeah, the Six of Pentacles. The balance is here. The balance needs to be here. This is saying that the scales get out of whack. They do. People have their hands out. People are always saying, oh, I need and I want, and oh, can't you help me? And that kind of stuff, or more and more work is being put on your shoulders, more and more, demands are being put on your shoulders, and you're just kind of like, enough. You need to look at yourself and see a queen. And I know that sounds completely unhelpful. It's like, look at your life and then imagine royalty. It's kind of like, oh, okay, I'm sure royalty, is changing dirty diapers and, picking up after dog do. I'm positive. So there can be a bit of cynicism here because I'm being completely sarcastic. And there is a stepping back. And there is a saying, I need to balance these scales. Because this time period, this full moon in Aries is also the full moon of the warrior moon, but also boundaries. It's like, listen, I need to have boundaries. I need to do what is right for me, not just what is right for everybody else. And as you have these boundaries coming forward, you are protecting yourself and you're calling in change. So that's going to be a very big part of this time. And then you have the guide, which is the Hierophant in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. You have the repeat of the number 5. Number 5 is the freedom number. Number 5 is also a number, I'm just seeing here, like, you can't be put in a box. You can't be told what to do or who to be. So there's a sense of freedom. Yeah, well, it's freedom, but it's also, yeah, it's individualism. That's the word that I'm looking for here. And then it's also that the issues that you have, the trauma, the drama that is going on, it's going to be resolved much more easily than you had thought. It is. So let's talk about this moon for a moment because it's a really cool moon. We have the full moon on October 1st, and then we have the blue moon on October 31st. And this is the moon near Samhain. This is the moon near Halloween. This is the moon that is going to be astoundingly powerful. So that's going to be really cool. But you have that power coming forward. And because you have the Taurus energy here represented, Taurus is represented by the Hierophant in the major arcana, you are going to have a very strong Taurian pull in the public arena. Sensuality, practicality, there's going to be, this need to be grounded, all right? But we have the full moon in Aries. On the 1st of October, the full moon is the harvest moon. It's in Aries, and this is a time of beginnings. This is a time of embracing your warrior spirit and going after what you want. This is the first sign in the zodiac, so this is our starting point. And this is where you're really going to assess things. You're really going to look at things. And instead of being so tired you can't see, right? So overwhelmed, so, putting everything on your plate, Scorpio, this is going to be a time where you sit back and you're like, okay, inch by inch, I can do this. Step by step. It's not taking on big things. It's saying, I'm going to do X, I'm going to do Y, I'm going to do Z, and I'm going to be able to move forward. And that is how you're going to be a warrior within your life. And for a lot of you Scorpios, you're going to need to do this. Because during this time, okay, we can be rather impulsive, and because this moon calls for impulsiveness. But we also look at what is stressing us out the most, what is absolutely causing the most agita, the most sleepless nights, and you're already dealing with this within your heart. And you're going to say, you know what, the way I'm going to solve this is I'm going to take the stress, I'm going to stare it dead in the eye, and I'm going to go for it. I'm just going to conquer it, and then I will have no more stress. It is going to be such a monumental task that you will stress yourself out even more. And then you're going to need like this detox time from the stress, from the heartbreak, from the pain, from the disappointment, from everything that you have just like unleashed on yourself. And you're going to need to step back and be like, well, wait, no. So you have to be kind to yourself during this moon, because this moon makes even the meekest of us into warriors, which is super cool. And so this moon is showing you the power and the energy that you have. It's making you bold. It's making you energetic. It is making you focus. But it's also, again, making you impulsive. So be mindful. Be mindful of that, Scorpio, because you'll have a tendency to kind of be like a cat, like kind of touch things, and everything will start to explode and you'll just kind of like walk away. So just be mindful. That's what Spirit is showing me. You'll be like, oh, I didn't do that. So just be mindful of that energy around you, because you're going to be like, oh no, but you're actually going to be the one, instead of the cat that gets to walk away, you're going to be the person who gets to clean everything up. So be mindful of that energy around you. This moon is inspiring change. This moon is bringing you out of ruts. It's showing you the vitality of your life and where you want to be. And you kind of have a, ooh, me first kind of mentality, which I always love that. Like, oh, me first, I'll go first type of thing. It's not being like a petulant child. It's being excited. It's like, ooh, this is an adventure. And you're really utilizing that energy, and it's moving you forward. And again, this rekindling and this spark of life and of happiness is what's driving you. And this is where your power comes from. You surrender to the divine as the fiery climax approaches, as the sense of this beginning, this start, this energy comes forward. And from this climax comes this sense of, oh, I see clearly. Oh, I get it. And that's how you surrender to the divine. And that's where you see your power. Your power is in the fiery understanding of your truth and the fiery determination of your nature during this time, which can be cooled by water most definitely, but it's going to be rather intense. So just be mindful of this. Now we move to the new moon in Libra, which is on October 16th. And so here we have a new romantic cycle starts. A new romantic cycle begins. And this brings you into knowing that a new start is coming and opening your eyes towards beginnings. Now, a new romantic cycle can very well mean love coming into your life, right? But it means so much more than that. It means falling in love with your life, your existence, and yourself. It means falling in love with the path that you are taking, the road that you are walking, and the place that you want to be. And you might be experiencing loneliness. You might be sitting there and saying, how? How do I move forward? How do I have romance within my life? I would love to have someone who gets me. But it doesn't seem to be that way. It's such a hard road. And the thing is, we want to call into ourselves and into our world like-minded people, right? And it's hard when you're different. And I believe, because you have stumbled upon this channel, you are different. So if you aren't like everybody else, and if you're calling in a new romantic cycle, it's also calling in love for yourself. It is saying, yeah, it might not be as easy. I need to balance, especially in the public arena. But as I have this balance and this understanding coming in and moving me forward, I have this new beginning that I am embracing. And I know that there is a truth here. And as you call in this beginning, and as you call in this new romantic cycle, and as you fall in love with your life, your existence, and yourself, you fall in love with the reason why you're here. And you start to see that reason. Because for some of you Scorpios, it's like, well, I'm here to suffer. I'm here for it to be hard. And yes, life is suffering. I mean, that's just it. We will know tremendous pains and tremendous loss along our path. We will be tested to what we feel like is our breaking point. And then one day we'll be tested even further. And we'll go, oh, wow. And it's not fair and it's not right. But it is life. And here with the beginnings, it is the beginning of the journey. It is the beginning of the knowing of your truth. It is looking at things in quiet and understanding, and it's seeing the darkness, and not seeing infinite nothing, but infinite possibilities. It's embracing the god Janus in Roman mythology, the god of beginnings and endings, which is always what the new moon makes me think of. And it's the god that January is named after. And he is the god of not only beginnings and endings, of portals, of our way forward, but also our way behind. And you are seeing yourself walk towards something more. Embrace something beautiful. And it leads you. It leads you in a direction you hadn't expected. But it brings you to the power of the full moon in Taurus. And it says your dreams need a practical plan. With all the energy behind this blue moon, your dreams need a practical plan. You need to start living the beauty of your life, the mystery of yourself, the power of your truth. And it's kind of like, if not now, then when? Your dreams need a practical plan. How? How are you going to create the world that you want? And how are you going to step forward into it? Now, your spirit animals for this time are absolutely beautiful. And I think that they are so contrary, but I love the way they go together. It's the crow and the dove. The crow makes us think of death, because crows, come to a battlefield afterwards. And that's why they are usually representative of, battle goddesses and gods. And so here, you have the crow spirit coming in, but you have the message of co-create with spirit. You have a rather beautiful, rather, powerful message coming forward. And yes, a flock of crows is called a murder of crows, but aren't you murdering? Oh, that's interesting. Aren't you murdering the past? Not in a way of, in the way that it will not rise again, because it won't. And it doesn't have to be a painful thing, but it's saying that when we live in the idea that it was better when we live in the idea that, I'll be happy when, we're murdering the dreams of the now. It's always pushed off, or it's always unobtainable because it already happened. And so as you co-create with spirit, you co-create the present to be a true gift. And this brings forward change, and this has you trusting your integrity and your intellect and yourself. This is saying, remember your sacred laws, the sacred laws of your truth, the sacred laws of this earth, the sacred laws that might only be your sacred laws, but they define everything that you need and everything that you want. This is you speaking the truth, and this is you transformed, and this is you getting messages because the crow brings them. And they're not always messages that are pretty and, pure as the driven snow. They are messages that need to be seen and truths that need to be heard. It then leads you to the dove spirit. Now, the dove spirit brings messages also, but the dove spirit here says, be peace. And that is what we think of when we think of the dove. Even if it's not this white, beautiful dove, it can be, we have turtle doves around where I live. And I always look at them, and I always think, oh, wow, they're so beautiful. They're so calm. They're so peaceful. And, it's just a sense of looking at something, and it just bringing the idea of peace to your mind. And what the dove is going to bring is messages of peace and hope when your heart is broken, when things get hard. And that's the energy that you are embracing here. It's a release of the pain that you are holding, and it's an embrace of gentle compassion and powerful truth. It's a spreading your wings, and it's saying to this world, yes, I understand that this world values, fighting in battles and, the strongest survive type of mentality. And it mocks people who move forward quietly and sits there and calls them cowards. But it's not true. Sometimes the very strongest people and the very bravest people are the people who walk gently and the people who understand the impact that their words and their actions and their beings have. You have been drained, Scorpio, and this full moon is letting you see where you have been drained. The Four of Pentacles for me, even though this one is rather quite enchanting, is the minor arcana, is the vampiric energy card. There is no major arcana vampiric energy that I have. It can be the devil card, okay? But here, there is a sense of needing to hold on to your wealth, needing to hold on to your prosperity, needing to hold on to what you have, because there's a fear that the bottom is just going to fall out. There's a fear that there will not be enough. The Four of Pentacles, for me, is a guarding of your chakras. It is a guarding of what you have created, of what you have earned, of where you stand. And always remembering that you can lose it. Always remembering that you have to fight tooth and nail to get it. And that's what causes the doubts and the fears and the anger and the upset and the not being able to sleep, because it's not a battle. It might seem like one. The world might have done a really good job in making it one. But what you need to do right now is release yourself from toxic energy. And I know that sounds so silly, especially when we're talking about calling in prosperity. But it's a release of the toxic energy that keeps us from being truly prosperous. It's a release from the toxic energy that has us doubting ourselves, that has us moving forward in a way that makes us feel small and insignificant. It is those people who look at us and say, oh, wow, Scorpio, you seem to have it really going on. I'm just going to kind of leech onto you just a little bit, just take a little drink of that positive energy, like vampires do. Think of them as mosquitoes, right? And what you're left with is an itchy, annoying welt, bug bite. Do you want that? No, it bothers you. It keeps you from focusing on where you need to be. It's giving too much because you're not willing to give it because they didn't ask. And you're not wanting to give it because it isn't theirs, it's yours. So here, with this vampiric energy, what you are looking at is you are looking to cleanse yourself. And the thing I like to do is I like to visualize a golden light around me. It's the light of the universe. And see your angels. But also, I've liked now to kind of see, like, those swords that they used to fell trees, like back in the day? And how one person would hold one end and one person would hold another? Well, see kind of like a sword, kind of like that, kind of like a saw. And you cut through this energy with your angels. You too are holding that sword. And you too are being empowered. You're sharing this energy. And then there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. And you just sit there for a moment and see how you feel. Do you feel scared and alone? Do you feel connected to the quiet? Because that's where you want to get to be. You want to get to be able to feel connected to the quiet, connected to the nothing, centered and released. And as you embrace this, okay, the golden light comes back and you are empowered and you are emboldened again. But this time it doesn't have the corruption. It doesn't have the little leeches. It doesn't have the mosquito vampires around. And you find yourself being like this picture, wealthy and beautiful. Wealthy within yourself. It doesn't have to be financial wealth, but there's a power to you and there's a brilliance to you. And this leads you to then seeing that the two roads that you thought, the two paths that you thought, this is my truth, and these are the roads that I can walk, you start to see that something more is developed. There are roads that are coming your way that you hadn't thought would ever be yours, that you hadn't anticipated, but that are more you than the path that you have been walking, than the power that you have been seeing, and your mind opens. And God, Source Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, hands you a gift of the Ace of Pentacles. Now it isn't taken because I do not have a court card of the Pentacles here. We'll see what your subconscious message is. But what it does is it permeates every single aspect of this time. It will be taken. It's just not going to be taken right away. And so here, you're looking at wealth, you're looking at prosperity, you're looking at the seeds that you're planting, you're looking at what you desire, you're looking at what you need, you're looking at the way forward. And divinity is saying to you, there is more here. There is something truly powerful and truly beautiful. There is something truly you. And you start to see it. You start to take it in. You start to see the seeds that you want to plant within your garden, within your life, within yourself. Think of it this way. Think of planting a vegetable garden, right? You're not going to fill it up with gardens, with food that you don't like. If you don't like tomatoes, you're not going to plant a whole bunch of tomatoes. If you love tomatoes, you are going to plant a whole bunch of tomatoes. That's what these seeds are. These seeds are saying, what do you want? If you don't like the smell of roses or lilies, you're not going to fill your garden with roses or lilies. What do you want? What is powerful for you? What is beautiful to you? What is your truth? And what is your grace? Internally, you are freeing yourself and you are seeing a path open. And then a gift comes. And as this gift comes, and as you ask yourself kind of the hard questions, because you are that warrior, and you truly are that warrior during this moon, the world opens to you. The way that you have defined yourself, the way that you have thought about yourself, and the doors that have been closed because of that mindset start to open. You are more than you had thought. You are more than you had anticipated. The way that you are moving forward is more profoundly you. There's a power and there's a truth. There's a dedication and there's a purpose. And you are embracing that. The world seems vaster in what you can do within it, and smaller because you can achieve it. You can move forward this way. The doors aren't always going to be slammed in your face. And then we have the Nine of Swords. This is feeling like the doors are always slammed in your face. This is your heart having enough. It has been one battle after another after another. You don't want to be a warrior, you're tired. This is not sleeping at night, this is nightmares, this is doubts, this is fears, this is apprehensions, this is questioning everything you do. This is letting doubt take root. And this is forgetting your truth. The Nine of Swords is worry, doubt, and fear. It's coming from a place of lack. And it can just be that negativity was spoken over you. And it's not just, it's astoundingly powerful. Negativity was once spoken over you. Seeds were planted in your mind, not of prosperity, but of poverty. Of being a pauper, It doesn't have to be in, a financial way. It could be being a pauper in happiness. It could be being a pauper in knowing your worth. It can be being a pauper any way that you can cut it. But somebody took their brokenness and put it on you. Now, you could have inherited it through your DNA line. Okay, this is how we've always been. All right, so a weight of generations gave you lack. It can be through your past life. This was a trauma you had to deal with in a past life, and you didn't. And so it rolled over into this one. The doubt, the fear, the anger, the upset. And the anger can be because you don't know why. You might need to do a past life regression. Or you might need to just sit there and ask yourself, why? And see the answers that come. This is looking at things and saying, I am not going to be afraid of what goes bump in the night. I am not going to be afraid of my subconscious. I'm going to claim and own my power and move forward in my truth. And it leads you to saying to the world, enough is enough. You do not get to declare how I conduct my life, where I go, and what I do. The 9 of Wands is, it's that. It's like, oh man, one more thing on my plate, thank you. It's being battle weary, but you have also won the battle. And it's learning that we cannot listen to what everybody else has to say. We have to listen to our hearts and ourselves. But we also have to trust ourselves, not be impulsive, because the impulsiveness can ruin everything. They kind of like, I'm tired of this nonsense. Me first, I'm taking what I want. We have enough energy like that in the world. We don't need it. Now is the time of centering, calming and understanding, and moving towards what you truly desire, without the rest of the world shouting at you. It leads you to becoming a queen. It leads you to claiming your throne, claiming your voice, healing, accepting, embracing kindness, embracing understanding. It brings you to prosperity, and it has you making clear boundaries, because queens have clear boundaries. Monarchy have clear boundaries. And I remember being told with the Queen of Cups that she is the most beautiful and the most prosperous and the most caring and compassionate of all the queens, second only to the Empress. So there's this love here. There's this beauty. There's this brilliance. Embrace it. This is the queen that you were born under. This is the queen that represents you. Her power is your power. Embrace her grace. Move forward. See the beauty that lies within, and see how to move that around you and with you. This is leaving behind the lack. The new moon. The new moon in Libra has the portals, the gateway, the archway. You are walking into a new world, a new destiny, a new truth, a new power. You are opening up the doors. And as you open up the doors, you embrace where you need to stand. You are not worthless. You are endlessly priceless. You are worthy. You are valuable. And prosperity is a part of your existence. Claim it. It can be an uphill battle, believe you me. It can be a battle that feels like it is never going to end. The doubt and the fear that surrounds money. A sense of, I can't do it. And having to battle with that negativity to say that I can. And more importantly, I will. Not in your time, in divine time, which can be utterly aggravating. But the world opens up to you and you are guided. You are claiming your power. You know your truth. And it moves you. It moves you to a celebration akin to a wedding. It moves you to falling in love with your life and yourself, of where you want to be. It's being married to your dreams. It's being married to your beauty. It's being married to what you desire from life, and not giving it all up for everybody else. It is not swallowing your words. It's rejoicing and dancing in your glory and in the light of your existence. It is love all around you. It is tenacity And it is a start that is astounding, and a start that is so much more. It is a start and a beginning for your dreams. This can lead to new job opportunities. This can lead to deeper romantic connections, falling in love with others, yes, enhancing the love that you have within your life, but also the enhancing the love you have within yourself, for yourself. This is a celebration. This is a celebration so powerful that it cannot be denied. It brings temperance. It brings balance. It brings truth. It moves you forward in a way that is like, oh, okay. It's one cup pouring into the other, pouring into the other, pouring into the other. And instead of there being less and less, each time the cups pour, there is that knowledge of day and of night, of the subconscious and the conscious, the masculine and the feminine, of what you desire and what you need and what you long for and the truths that you seek. You are moving forward in it. It is balancing you. It is centering you. It is enlightening you, and it is emboldening you. And it moves you to claiming that balance within your life, because paths have opened up that you hadn't realized. And you have fought the good fight, right? But you're tired. And now there needs to be that balance, that harmony. No more fighting. Now, to clarify, that does not mean that you roll over and play dead. If you have to fight, fight, right? You have the warrior spirit around you. Now is the time. But you need that balance, that harmony within your soul, within yourself. It moves you to the Six of Pentacles, the balance coming in. It moves you to the Six of Pentacles, not being taken advantage of. It moves you to the Six of Pentacles. It moves you to seeing your worth and not giving it to other people for free. I remember somebody told me once, if you do not put value on what you do, the universe will not put value on what you do. And I really thought that was quite selfish. But she said to me, she says, if you don't think you're worth anything, why would you be worth anything? And I was like, no, it's not being worth anything. It's being kind. It's being this. It's being that. And she said, yes, but if you give so much of yourself that there is nothing left to give and nobody gives back, where do you stand? Who are you? You're a broken cup. And if you don't hold water, if you don't hold the water of spirit, if you don't hold the water of your truth, you cannot help anybody else drink of it. Drink of their truth and hold their truth. And these are the boundaries that need to be set. And it brings you to the guide. It brings you to the Hierophant. It brings you to knowing your truth and embracing your power. It brings you to seeing things so much more openly and honestly, because you're connecting with your inner child right there. She is she. And as you connect with your inner child, as you sit there and say, this is me. All of me. The me who is small and vulnerable, who put their hands up and sometimes nobody picked up. The me who fell and hurt themselves and was overwhelmed by it. This is me. And I am caring for who I once was and for the person I will be. And I am staying true to myself, because if I am not true to me, no one will ever be true to me. And I am claiming my throne, and I am becoming the King of Kings, the ruler of my destiny, and the empowerment of my future. And I am moving forward. Let's see what Luna has to say. How will Scorpio be affected by the October 1st, 2020 full moon? How will Scorpio be affected by the October 1st, 2020 full moon? How will Scorpio be affected by the October 1st, 2020 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. How will Scorpio be affected by the October 1st, 2020 full moon? How will Scorpio be affected by the October 1st, 2020 full moon? How will Scorpio be affected by the October 1st, 2020 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. Okay. Realization. Yeah. Seeing the bigger picture. Beauty. And I like that. Okay, I'll explain in a moment. And patience. Realization, beauty, and patience. Realization of the beauty of patience. Which can be aggravating, most definitely. Will. Expect change. Don't let pride get in the way. A time for healing. Take time out to breathe. Nothing will come of this situation. Now, I have not looked up when the devoid of courses are, and I will link them in the description box below. I have to remember to do that. Okay. I do apologize if I forget. I tend to forget the readings as soon as they are done. It just, Spirit does not let them stay. So I will try to remember. What you think is going to come of this time is not what's going to come of this time. The void, of course, makes things go kind of topsy-turvy. So it says nothing will come of this. When you look inward, and as you embrace your truth and your power, you're going to think there's going to be this huge shift right away. Nothing like that will come. Not right away. It is going to be a slow and steady thing, which is why you need patience. And not to let pride get in your way. Not to say, if it doesn't happen instantaneously, it will not happen at all. That's not true. Okay? Be patient. Because what you're seeing here is by the realization, by the opening up of the door, by the walking through the portal, by the embracing of the god Janus, sitting there and saying, this is the beginning and this is the ending. This is the new beginning and this is the past. This is the present and this is the future. And this is how I'm moving forward. You unlock a key. And I get chills with this. It's like you unlock the key. And you release the negativity. And it brings you to beauty. Now, with this card of beauty, for the longest time I used it. And I did not see. I always saw the lips right here. But I did not see the whole face. The eye, the eyebrow, the nose, the outline of the face. I didn't see it. And that's the thing. Sometimes the most beautiful things are before us. And we just don't see it. So be mindful. Be mindful of the beauty within and without that is surrounding you, that is guiding you, and that is a natural part of you. It's what brings the prosperity forward. Have patience. Have patience because the world is not always what it seems. And as we have these boundaries shattered and as we walk into it, we have to have patience with ourselves to be able to walk that walk and talk that talk and be that person. Because with the Queen of Cups, at times you war against a very quiet life, a very quiet self. And it can be using that quietness, that gentility of spirit, as one of your greatest attributes, your greatest talents. Be patient. As you walk forward, you are forming. As you are embracing the future here, call upon the god Janus, right? Look at it and say, beginnings and endings and portals, where do I stand? Beginnings and endings and portals, where do I stand? What do I stand for? And who do I stand with? What is the energy around me? It doesn't have to be the actual people. It can be your angels and it can be your spirit guides. What is my truth? It leads you to your will. That's what conquers this doubt and this tiredness. It's like, man, you're tough. It's like a will of iron, a force, a fierceness, a power of self. Your will is great. And this moon enhances your will. This leads you to expect powerful change. Because you will it. And because you are a queen. Because it is a part of you. And it doesn't matter how you identify yourself. The queenly energy is this loving, beautiful touch of power. It's a sense of freedom, but also the sense of authority. It is a sense of beauty that at sometimes can be hidden. Expect powerful change because you call it forward and you deserve it. Do not let pride get in your way. Pride of prosperity, pride of bounty. You know, what is the saying? The love of money is wicked, or something like that. And the thing is, it's not. You can love being able to be prosperous, being able to be successful, being driven only by money. Yeah, well, that's wicked. Because then people start doing some crazy things. But you're seeing yourself here, moving forward, not letting pride get the best of you, but opening up the door and saying, I'm standing in my rightful place. And my rightful place is of prosperity, not of poverty. My rightful place is of power, not weakness. It leads you to a time to heal. It does. This is going to be a time where you'll sit there and you'll think, firepower. You know, I'm going to move forward. I'm going to slay dragons. I'm going to go for it. And you're going to see during this time your greatest power, what you are the champion of, is the healing grace that is around you. And the ability to take time out, to breathe in, to breathe out, and be centered. And that's why what you expect is not what you get. That's why it ends with the annoying statement of nothing will come of this. Nothing you expect will come of it. But everything that your soul desires will start to transform you, will start to guide you, will start to be a part of you. Your subconscious message. It starts with communication is key. Communication of what you want, the duality of your soul, the passion that you need to move forward is key. This is your subconscious message from the moon. It brings change. Change is a huge part of this time. Things will not stay the same. They won't. They might change very, very smallly, but they're changing very, very powerfully. It might seem like a mouse is pushing it along. The littlest of changes, but they will be beautiful. They will be powerful. And you are changing so much more than you realize. This then leads you to the subconscious tarot message, which is the Hermit, Virgo energy, a time frame of August 23rd to September 22nd, a turning inward, of finding the most powerful knowledge and the most powerful truth within yourself. It is a time not of loud connections, but quiet contemplations, of beautiful conversations with your angels and your spirit guides, with your soul and with yourself, to move you forward to where you want to be, to where you need to be, body, mind, and spirit. This is another 9. So now you have 3 9s. Divinity is telling you you're very close to a completion of a cycle. You're very close to the power of your truth. And you are embracing compassion completely and utterly. All right, Scorpio. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we move forward in power of self, as we realize that we are warriors, not the ones that scream as they run down the hill, but the silent, powerful ones, the ones that embrace their hearts, their souls, and themselves, the ones that live their truth and exude their blessings. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Scorpio, and may you have a blessed moon.